here. Trustee Burgess.
Here.
Trustee Young. Here. Glad to have her.
Here.
Mercy.
Rise and do the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, we are welcoming Terry to the first meeting. Welcome, Terry. Glad to have you with us. Let's look at the minutes to be approved of the scheduled meeting of May 16th. Did anybody see any corrections?
Yeah, Bobby spelled his name wrong.
Bobby?
Just kidding. Or just start tearing up. The clerk name spelled wrong. All right, Terry, I'll leave you alone.
Anybody? If not, then is there a motion to approve the minutes as written? Moved by Debbie. Need a second?
Second.
And by James. Okay, roll call, please. You can abstain since you were here if you wanted to.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Burgess.
Your husband was.
Trustee Young. Yes. Too glad to have her.
Yes. Okay, public comments, Ms. McGrath.
My name is Dorothy Margraf. I live at 27253 South Timber Lane in Monee Township. First of all, I'd like to say the website that I saw today is absolutely beautiful. I don't know who did the job, but it's wonderful. The description of what the work the township does is fantastic. I think it should inform a lot of people who may not know what the township does. However, I have two suggestions. One, I would suggest that in your regular newsletter and on the township, you mention that WPALTV carries the meetings and that people can see the meetings on WPALTV. They can go to Facebook. It's also on Comcast Channel 4. Okay, I have one other suggestion. Willa, can I see you for a minute? Willa? Everybody, this is Willa Simmons. She deserves to be, look this way too. She deserves to be on the website. When people call in, she is on the face, she is the face of Monee Township. She is the one who answers the questions, and she does a fantastic job. Now, people like me have trouble with names. So if I forget her name, I can always look on the website and see Willa Simmons.
That's actually an excellent idea.
She is, well, look this way, when you're on WPAL, we only see your back, and it's just scooting off in the distance to get something for somebody. But you are an absolutely fantastic person.
Yay. Why don't you put yourself on, as well as the one that now can put stuff on and, take stuff off, so we'll let you put your own little spiel on there.
Willa, you've been requested to do it by a citizen, you've been requested to do it by this committee, by this board. It's an order.
Thank you very much. All right, let's moving on.
I'd just like to comment on the public comment. Dorothy, I want to just say first, thank you for volunteering to do what you're doing. And it says a lot about you. And those comments are really well received. Did I say received? Received. When you first came up here, Dorothy, I got my defense sentence kicked in. Like, okay, is she going to knock this or what? But that was greatly received, greatly received. So thank you, thank far as Willa, definitely. I thought you was on there.
No, just to look at official, so it kind of hides in the corner. So
Okay.
Real, you don't have to be, a little picture and a little blurb, that's all we can work on.
You know, why not even Joe? Why not Joe? He represents us.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I will do that.
Early
I don't know if
council.
Joe wants to be on there.
Let's get on with Joe, we pay you. I have to say something there.
I'm supposed to say yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, would you, it's a good picture to Willa, so she can put you on, please.
Oh, you can't take a picture. He's always glamorous.
I'll break the camera.
Okay, all right, that's a good idea. All right, all good ideas. Supervisor report, the general assistance report, we had 9 intakes, 8 applications, 0 flag grants, 0 other aid, 7 pantries, 1 was denied, 2 are pending, 2 terminated. We have number on general assistance is 7. We've spent a total of $3,128.98. So we might have that number going down. That my number's fluctuated a little bit. It was 9, it's been up 7. It was a 6. I think we might have somebody that's coming off, so that would be good.
For suggestions, just move forward. Well, how difficult would it be just to create a spreadsheet and just every month put the number in? And really see it real easily trending as opposed to trying to keep the comments and see just how things are going, just with the bottom number.
Could you speak a little louder for the camera?
I really do not know the camera here, but yes. But just a spreadsheet, I can work, or I can send you one, to get you started, to show a trending
Okay.
per month. Just punch the numbers in, the bottom number.
You want a spreadsheet or a graph?
Graph, you're looking at
Yeah,
graph.
well, you can do it on a spreadsheet, on Excel. Okay, you punch in the numbers. I'll get them started,
Yeah.
okay, and you can just change the numbers. I'll get it started, send it to you. and
You
then
can do it as a spreadsheet, and then you can change the spreadsheets into graphs.
Right, exactly.
And then still give us this, though, I think this is.
Right, still give us this, but just add the bottom number
Okay.
to it and let us see how it trends.
Okay.
The top numbers are 10,000, bottom numbers are whatever. Okay, thanks.
Okay, then the senior committee update, their next occasion is the picnic in the park on August 22nd, and 11 to 2, they'll be serving hamburgers and hot dogs for the seniors. They will need to call for reservations. Deadline to call is August 15th. So this is for residents in Monee Township that are 65 and over. They get a free picnic in the park, and then usually entertainment. I guess they're gonna have bingo this time, right?
They're having, some music. What kind of thing?
Entertainment says bingo, so maybe, I don't know if that's both. Usually both, okay. Another thing I put on here is, well, let's see, correspondence, there's correspondence, if anybody wants to look at it. There's some things in your packet, some thank you notes and everything that were put in. Other issues, the yearly audit is going on right now, so the auditors have been in and working, and we'll probably coming up with a report sometime this summer. I put a letter in your packet that was for discussion. It has to do with the Will County Code Enforcement, resolution against the use of aerial photos. I myself read through the email that was sent to us, and I didn't really feel it was something that I wanted to put on the agenda, but I didn't want to make that decision without the board, said is something you would like on an agenda item for the next time. It basically is where the Will County Code Enforcement is now using aerial photos of property as well as pictures taken of private property as a tool in code enforcement, and they're saying it's without permission. So they're flying over and they're taking pictures. The citations are being written based on those photos. And I'm not so certain myself that that's a bad idea, because there are a lot of people that do add onto their property. They add decks, they add sheds, they have things without asking permission or going through the plan. So I'm not certain that the flying over is a bad idea.
Yeah, but did you see the example in here from?
I did see the example, and that's one of those unfortunate examples that, yes, that, you know, somebody who had just, you know, bought the home, had no idea that the work had been done. And my thinking is that those people should not be charged, but they should get a lawyer and have them charge the prior people that put that on their property. But I'm not certain what all that would entail. But to me, that's probably not something that happens too often.
It happened to me at my old house.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there's not a clear law to say one way or the other, I do not want them coming around, flying helicopters and looking in my backyard trying to see what I have or what I do not have. And it's enough is enough. So I agree with that resolution. If Joe does not say anything, I want to say, you know what, they have a clear right to do it. It is a moot point. But if it's a gray area, we want to give this young man who possibly needs some ammunition from resolutions such as our township, I'm more than happy to accommodate. Yeah, I read that, I'm like, okay, yeah, Big Brother at its best.
Aerial photos.
You know, I know.
It didn't say it was done with drones.
I know. That's next.
Is this something that a resolution from the township would make a difference?
Well, it seems like what they're asking, or what Mr. Ballack is asking for is, he's looking to have, I assume that the county board is going to be discussing this.
Okay.
And so he's looking for really a resolution
And support.
to be, he actually even said, I think he says a letter. He's asking for a letter.
Resolution.
I anticipate, and from what I've read in the paper, which is about all I really know about this, is that the county board is supposed to be discussing it as to, you know, whether they want to pass or indicate what the intent of the county board is as far as what the planning department and the enforcement people should be doing. And so I guess he's looking for support in terms of letters from other governmental organizations, townships, etc., as to whether the township supports his resolution.
All right.
All right,
I
so you're
think
looking
that's
for a
kind of-
letter
that's kind of short.
and
Just
support.
more
Right,
ammunition.
right.
You know, there's various things. It raises, you know, a lot of interesting questions.
But is this, other than a letter of support, I mean, this isn't really anything that we would have enforceable over anyway.
No, I don't.
I mean,
I don't
that's a
think the
county
township-
problem.
There is,
Right.
it is.
Right.
I don't think the township has the authority to do anything other than indicate, it's kind of like a non-binding indication of whether we support you or not.
Right.
I don't think that the township has the authority to hire that helicopter to go out and enforce it or not.
Or tell them not to.
Yeah,
Either
or
way.
tell it not to.
Right.
Okay, do we have any idea when the plan commission is going to be discussing this? I mean, is this something that, since I do not have it on the agenda, other than just as in my, you know, comments, is it something that I can just say, you know, all right, we'll do a letter on it if I have consensus? I don't need it anything further, or what?
We take action on it.
Well, we're not really taking action if we just authorize a letter to be done, so I don't know if that's Joe to tell me.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it's coming from the county board. He doesn't really say it here.
No, he doesn't.
If it's coming from the county board. From what I read in the newspaper, I think there's an intention to bring it in front of the county board. I'm just not sure when that's going to happen.
All right.
I think there's different views on the county board. The county board right now is kind of split equally down the middle, so I'm not sure what they're going to do.
So it's something that you think I should put on the agenda and then, you know, for something approved, just the writing of a letter?
Well, first of all, I think if you want to consider it to actually take action, I think you would need to put it on as an action item at the next meeting.
All right, we'll put it on next month's agenda, new business, will it?
And then there'll be more information, and I'll look for information. I mean, I do have some contacts with the county board, so maybe I can find out a little more about it.
Okay, yeah, that would be good. Nothing in detail, just, you know, because it's just the letter they want, so it's nothing. Okay, well, I was hoping that we could get Jackie to come tonight so we could give him a formal recognition, because he could not make our May meeting, and he is again in the fields Willa talked to Rebecca, they are really, running late with the plantings with all the bad weather they've had. So I just want to make this, and Willa is going to drop this off to Jackie tomorrow. It's going to be this lovely, it's going to be just a certificate. We will also give him his name tags, that were on the table and up in our on our board here. And the certificate just basically says, certificate of appreciation of your dedicated service to Monee Township for the years 2001 to 2013, presented to Jackie Ray Stuckel. You gave selflessly of your time and energy to help the township better serve its residents. Thank you. And we've signed that, and then I think I showed many people applied last time, but I'm going to do it again in case I don't think we did it for the press. So we have a very lovely memory for him. And it says, in appreciation for your dedicated service to Monee Township for the years 2001 to 2013, presented to Jackie R. Stuckel, and it says May 16, 2013, which was his last meeting. So that's what will be going to him. And so we will drop it off to him tomorrow or sometime in next week, so that he will know that his services were appreciated, and he was always a pretty thoughtful board member, so I think he deserves it.
That's good. Very good.
Okay. There was a note that July newsletter, we tried to collect all our data by July 8th, so are you going to be able to finalize the dates of the fall season for the youth nights so that we can put in our newsletter?
We should. I did talk to the director. She replied, I did not forward her email to Willa, but it's pretty much on us. She said anything or any dates that we want after September 1st, we get it over to her. So September 1st, James, if you want to look at your calendar and see what's good all of us.
As soon as you call me,
Okay.
put your calendar in front of you, or we get together.
Okay, and then if
So
you
I'll
could get the list to Willa, right? By
Tuesday.
July 8th is
By
when we
Tuesday
meet.
next week.
Can't do it tonight though, because the basketball game starts at 7.
Right.
Priorities.
Okay, but just everybody knows that we need all the news articles. Last but not
There's
least,
a
you'll
couple things
see,
in there that we can leave space for the requesting the volunteers, okay?
and also we can put stuff like that on our website too.
Yeah, and also, I was wondering, this picture that we mailed out, if we can eliminate, we just put the picture and names in there. I emailed this picture to Willa. If we can put that in the newsletter and just say thank you, since this was the first time that in 20 years the entire site has been.
I think
No,
part
that's
of it.
political.
Okay,
That's
how about just saying?
You'd have to pay for an ad, to put it in the newsletter, I'm sorry.
We can do that. We can do that. $2 not bad.
Well, unless we just put the pictures and the names and just say thank you to the residents.
Yes, and we could say thank you to the residents
Okay.
as a thank you note from the board, but,
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Okay, can we do that? Willa's got the picture, I emailed
We
the picture.
will just put a nice thank you note in there for our newsletter and say thank you.
So you're saying eliminate the picture?
You may have, yeah. I mean, I don't know if the picture is, we couldn't put anything that has political on there at all.
Okay,
So
so-
here's the thing with that picture, we have black and white, and I don't think it's gonna turn
It doesn't
out.
Oh, this is the same picture that we had on the postcards.
Yeah, it
So we
doesn't
emailed, I
come,
went to the printer and had it
Right
in there.
on the
but it
postcard.
doesn't come
But I
out
don't
well
think
in the
it's
newsletter. It
gonna
comes out like
come
it did the last time.
Oh, we're gonna put, yeah, I got that. I didn't like this
That's
one.
what, that's how it's
I didn't
gonna
like this
probably
one.
look.
Right.
This the way it will come out?
Yes,
Oh, no, this is
yes.
awful.
No, it's awful. So I think it's just a
That's how
nice
it's gonna come out.
thank you
Well,
for re-electing us all. Well, that would be nice. We'll do a nice little thank you box. Maybe black box that will, kind of do a little black box so it kind of draws attention to it. Last but not least, there is a Monee Township official sheet that has been in your packet. You'll notice that my work has been eliminated from there since I no longer have a job as of a week ago. They downsized the company a lot because we lost our biggest customers, so now I am home. So if anybody needs to reach me, there's my email address at home and my home phone number. Also, it has the addition of Terry Bowles' information, so her information is there also. So everything else is pretty much the same on that.
You're not homeless, are you?
Not yet. Not yet. You never know what's gonna happen. But unfortunately, it wasn't by my choice, I can tell you that. I wanted to work 2 more years. Okay, but I guess they said, you're old, so you don't need to work, but you know. Anyway, Bobby, clerk's report.
Well, the oath of office for 8 of the 9 township officials have been filed with the clerk's office. The assessor doesn't have to be taken oath until the 1st of January. But the other officials have, the oath have been filed with the clerk's office.
Even the collectors, even though he doesn't take,
Yes.
oath, okay.
Yes, they've all the ones that the oath has been given to have been filed with the clerk's office.
Great.
So, and the other thing today I received in the mail, I guess, the clerk's fees are due for 2013. So I guess I can give it to
We'll put it on the next, right.
And also, they have upgraded the clerk's handbook. It's been a revised edition, so that's another thing that we'll be looking at. They have a disc that's available as well as some revised inserts.
Okay. Is that something that all the board has, or just you get? As a
Well, it's the clerk's,
So it's
called
basically
the
your
clerk's
manual.
handbook.
So yeah,
It's
you'll
that
need it.
book over there. We currently have 2 copies. I have a copy and we have a copy that's
All right.
it.
Then you'll need to update in order, make sure we get them ordered. We'll take care of that.
That's all I have.
Okay. David is not here, so I have a highway commissioner's report. This last month was stormy and wet. We had to remove trees and branches following 2 recent bigger storms. With 2 to 3 inches of rain, our road ditches are too wet to mow, which means we are behind in our road mowing. The big letting for paving streets in Heatherbrook was let out on June 6th. Deconstruction received the contract with the lowest bid, which was $273,000. I think there's an extra 0 in there. I'm not certain where it goes. Looks like $273,011.90.
Or it could be $273,110.
Oh, right. I mean, but there's a mistake on there, so I'm not certain what that dollar amount is. But anyway, it's $273,000 and some dollars, but not very many to that. This coming week, we will be replacing the culverts in Heatherbrook in preparation for the new paving. For David Deutsch.
It's a Melissa Court.
No.
No, he says we're not ever doing that.
Okay.
Okay. No assessor is not here. Anything from the attorney?
Nothing new.
Okay. And moving into new business. We have 2,000 coming up, the new elected official training. And even though it's for newly elected officials, this is a really good training session because it does renew everybody's information. And it's always a good thing to go to. So this one that we always like to go to is in Bloomington, because Bloomington is easier to get to than Rockford, actually. It's
Going to Lyle.
straight down. There is a Lyle one. Where's Lyle? Let's see, how far is Lyle?
That's a
We've gone to that one
Yeah,
before.
that's a little closer.
Yeah, it's actually.
It is closer. Lyle's where at?
We've gone to that one before.
We did take a year ago.
355
Near
there.
Glen Ellen somewhere. over there.
Okay,
Talking
well,
to different universities.
Those are,
okay, July 18th is, we need then to get our reservations in. They say reservations by, what date?
June 30th.
Oh, right, June 30th. So we need to really kind of tell Willa if we're gonna be able to go. I'm gonna be able to go. It is a Friday. All of these are Fridays.
It's on a Friday?
Yes, it's a Friday. I am going to be able to go because I have nothing to do.
I drove it last time.
Yeah, you did.
no, I drove.
No, Bobby drove the
Yes,
rest.
I did.
All right.
I sure did.
Yeah, I started.
You did the meeting
I was
before
the
that.
backseat
All right.
driver.
Terry, you're gonna be able to go? Bobby, you gonna?
That's gonna be a tough one for me,
Okay, you don't think so? Okay.
because, I may be the only one at work. Those, we have like two people in our department, and, she's gonna be on vacation, another person on vacation.
Okay. All righty. So Terry, you're gonna be able to make it. Maurice?
Yeah, and again, what's that date?
The 18th, July 18th,
On a Friday.
Friday. Well, maybe not. No, that might be a Thursday because the 26th, it might be a Thursday. Because July 26th is a Friday, and I think July 19th is a Friday, but July 18th is
I'll tell you, in a moment.
July 18th, Thursday.
Thursday. Okay, that is a Thursday. All right.
Put a question mark behind my name.
Well, okay, by the 30th, we need to let Willa know so she can send her reservations to Debbie.
It's actually the date of the next board meeting.
And that's the date of our next board meeting too?
So by
It
the time we get out of
July
here, we
18th.
have about a couple-
Well, then I don't think that's gonna really work. I think we're gonna have to go down to
And
Bloomington.
what day is that?
That's Friday. That's the Friday, the
That's
26th.
Oh, the
The
26th.
26th,
26th of July?
right. So we have a little more time. We can tell, well, the deadline to register is July 12th, which is before our July 18th board meeting. But, so I still will probably go, and Terry's definitely, right? And you don't know, the July 26th, will that be better for you, Bob?
I have to check. There's a couple of vacations, there's,
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll work it out.
I'll check.
All right.
Schedule out.
Everybody let Willa know, so she can send in our check, and so we can get that information in then, that would be good. So we'll be doing the July 26th.
I don't know, Bloomington, it's like being in Kentucky.
Excuse me?
Tennessee.
It's an hour and a half drive.
No, I'm talking about, Monee Township with two people, that's what.
He sat at a table for lunch last time we were down there.
Yeah,
Yes.
Township population 2.
That, yeah. Yeah, it was a not, you can sit at our table.
I feel they would not drive this far,
You sure the
Anyway.
26th is on a Friday?
Yes,
Yes.
I did check that out.
I'm looking at it here.
That I looked at. That's why I was thinking the 18th, but it was the 19th, it's on the Friday, around here, so. Okay, so let everybody know. Willa, I will go, Terry's going, so,
We have a board week before then, right?
and then once we figure out who's all going, we'll coordinate who's driving, because, I can always let somebody drive my car when I'm on the interstates, I'm not knowing where I'm going, it's,
Go ahead and volunteer.
We can take our township here.
The truck?
all right, moving along. Next is a reappoint Joe Snoogle, Rocky Snoogle, Calville, and clerk as our township attorney. This was suggested by Joe, that with a new board coming on, that we should make this renewal also. Is there a motion to renew Joe as the township attorney?
So moved.
Jimmy, so copy.
Moved by James, second by Debbie. Roll call vote, please.
Any comments?
Oh, any comments?
Thank you. Chair.
I'm not sure if we're going to do a separate motion or not, but as far as setting the terms of the compensation, probably should be also, unless you do that in a separate motion.
What do you want, we can do it in one item, can't we, in terms of what was, I forgot, I don't have that information from,
I had sent a letter for the last meeting that,
keeps the terms the same, right?
right, the compensation would be the same, which is $200 an hour for services provided to the township out of court, $250 an hour for services if we are involved in something which is in court, and then $100 per hour for travel time to and from meetings, which is the same as what we're currently doing for the last one or two terms.
Okay.
And free coffee and a chocolate chip cookie.
I have no donuts. I don't do donuts. I don't give me donuts.
Okay.
I
That's what we
just,
like about you.
I do want to just commend you, Joe. You've been a professional at the highest level. And I believe you only missed one, I believe, maybe 1 in 4 years since I've been on for a meeting. And your replacement was just as professional as you.
Thank you.
So,
He was on vacation.
Yeah.
He was on vacation.
And I may have one in August coming up, where that same thing may happen. Don't know that for
that
sure.
was good.
Okay, all right, so then we're amending the motion then will be to reappoint Joe Cernugal as township attorney with the fees as stated, $200 an hour for any normal out-of-court fees, $250 if it's in-court fees, and $100 per hour for travel
So we're
fees.
talking about 2 action items here? And both
No, just
separate?
add
Just
one,
grabbing
just
it.
one, grabbing it all together.
Yeah.
All right, is that okay with the motioner and the seconder? Yes. All right, any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Rose,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes?
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Leonard.
Yes. Will County Center for Community Concerned Social Service Agreement. Last year, in our June meeting, we gave them $1,500. They do an immense amount. If you look at, for us, if you look at the back, you'll see the services they provide. Provided to Monee Township came to a total of $4,001.97 is what they figured it up, what it would have cost. So I think that if we spend $1,500 to get $4,000 worth of service, that's a godsend. They help with the emergency assistance, the LIHEAP program, nutrition programs, just so many, information, housing, home repair programs, comment, special hardship programs. So they really are there to help a lot of people, and we do refer many, many people their way. So I would like to see a motion to spend $1,500 this year to them.
No, they're saying just Monee.
They mean Monee Township, they just need to
In the
finish
body
it
of
off.
the letter, it describes it. Yeah, in the body of the letter. Okay, down to 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs.
They say Monee Township there, say,
Yeah. And just a point of clarification, it's $401,000.
right, $401,097.39.
And I will say that we have, one of our GA clients is receiving the winterization program this year. They are going to be giving her a new furnace
It's great.
and windows in her home.
Wonderful. Yeah, they really do a lot, and that's a great reference place for us to send people, and we would be lost without them. So I think $1,500 is a good investment. Is there a motion to approve?
After the motion, can we discuss or can we discuss now?
Usually they have a motion and discuss.
Yeah.
May I have a motion, please?
So move.
Moved by Maurice Brown, second. By Debbie. Okay, discussion?
Again, I think it's just fiscal responsible on our part that we at least get their initial financial statements that comes with their soliciting us of money.
We did that originally. We don't usually do that for re-ups. We've done it when we were first on the board, we asked for all that information, and then once we approved what we saw, then usually the case is that we do not ask that. We usually ask that for new people that come in with new
Well,
information.
I still think this is something that they should be able to easily do,
I'm sure they can.
and I think that's something that we should ask for.
Okay.
Is that in the body of our social service agreement?
I don't know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It is not. It's just something that we, like to have and look at occasionally, but as I said, this group we've looked at previously, and I feel confident that we can pass this without seeing their budget. We can get a copy of their
No, I
budget.
want them
in-
to pass it, but I said
Right.
moving forward.
Okay.
That's what I would like, when any social agreement like this, that we're dishing out.
We asked them for a budget, that's not a problem.
Just
We've done it with all the rest of them, just like Don said, when it came up to real.
Right.
I mean, things change. Things change.
Okay, well, anytime we do a request, it's just ask for the budget information. It's not a huge problem, so it's not a problem at all. Okay, any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Rowe?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
You are the
Yes. Okay. The next is the prevailing wage ordinance. This is something that is mandatory that we pass for the state. And we must pass it for, we have to do 2 resolutions for the town and the road district?
We should.
Okay. We need 2 different motions. One for the prevailing wage ordinance for the general town. And it basically tells us that there is a structure for Jerry's benefit, that there is a structure of fees that we must abide by, so that if we bring any outside contractors in, now our own employees are not paid these rates, but if we bring any, do any outside work, or the county, like David has just taken a bid, he has to make sure that the people that bid that out are paying this type of wage to the people that are doing the work. So, and it's, as I said, it is a state mandated program, so it's something that we must affirm every June. So is there a motion to approve the prevailing wage ordinance for the general town?
So moved.
Okay, Maurice, is there a second?
A second.
Second by James. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Rowe?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
You are the
Yes. And now we have to do the same thing for the road and bridge. Is there a motion to approve the prevailing wage ordinance 2013 for the road and bridge department?
So moved.
Moved by Debbie. Second.
Thought I heard Terry say second.
And Terry said second.
That's the way we do it.
Any further?
Wait till next month.
Marty?
All right. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Rowe?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess? Trustee Young?
Yes.
You are the
Yes. Okay, we have 2 plan commission members whose term is expiring. Actually, did they expire in April? Yeah, expired in April, so we need to bring them up so that their terms are 2-year terms, so that it's Andre Covington and Calvin Lacefield, and so that we need to approve new terms that will expire in April 2015. Is there a motion to do so?
You probably should actually do well.
Separately?
Yeah.
All right, is there a motion to approve Andre Covington to a 2-year term expiring April 15th to the Flag Commission?
So moved.
Moved by James. Second?
Second.
By David. Roll call vote. Discussion?
Yeah, Andre, is he here?
No, Andre Nerkelman is here. Right.
Okay. I don't know Andre, anybody?
Yes,
No history?
yes.
That you know of?
Vivian Covington is the mayor of University Park, this is her husband Andre.
I just call
And-
him first husband.
And her first husband is right. But no, he's been active on the plan commission for a while. He's been on the plan commission for a while, and he was a member, and now he's co-chairman. Well, he was co-chairman, now he is the chairman, right? He is the chair at this point in time, since, I guess it was George that was also co with him originally. So he is the co, but yeah, no, he is a good person, but we have not had any plan commission meetings because there's been nothing to plan. We haven't had anything come in from the county. We respond to what comes to us from the county. There's been nothing that has come in, so. Anyway, any further discussion? Then roll call vote, please, for Andre Covington.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Everett.
Yes. All right, is there a motion to approve the reappointment of Calvin Lacefield, expiration date of his term, April 2015, to the Plan Commission? Debbie, moved. Second. Second, Terry. All right,
Discussion.
any discussion?
Is there any conflict with Calvin holding this position and being a collector in some capacity?
I don't really think there would be. I don't know where any kind of conflicting interests would come into play on that.
Right, Calvin has no vote on anything.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
no, he's
yeah.
elected.
And he gets paid nothing, so, and this pays nothing, so.
Commissioners won't be deciding anything.
Right, and they don't decide anything. All the plan commission does is look at things and make recommendations to the board, and the board then acts.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say.
Yeah,
that would
I can see the duties being not that great, but just the fact that he's an elected official and he's going to be appointed to be this position for the township, that's all. I just thought.
I mean, you can have people appointed, yeah, I mean, you can have certainly a person appointed to, or elected to two different positions. It happens, relatively often. The issue is whether the position they're being elected to somehow could be a conflict of interest. somehow.
Right, I receive for the same governmental body, that's all. You know.
No, we asked that question
Obviously,
before.
I'm here,
Yeah,
and
and it
over
wasn't.
there, being, that's all.
I wouldn't see the conflict.
Okay.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Burgess,
Yes.
trustee Young,
Yes.
supervisor Everett.
Yes. Old business, as Ms. McGrath said, our WK Design website upgrade redesign is done, and it is good. I mean, the last month ago when I was here, the first 2 pages were good, but I wasn't happy with the last, so they've gone in, they've reconfigured, they've done things. It is set up now so that Willa can get in, and she has added things to the calendar. She can add pictures, she can change things around. So basically, we don't need any, day-to-day thing from them. She can add new newsletters, she can add new minutes. We've got some new minutes on there, right? So that's a good thing. So we can do things where, this website is so much better, it looks much nicer, as we were told, but it also is far more functional from us from office.
You said it looked much nicer.
Yes,
Did you
it's
say
great.
you put a picture of me up? A new picture of me?
Yeah, there's a new picture of Maurice on there, so he doesn't look so scrunched up.
It looks
So-
much nicer,
He had a scrunched up picture, so this is
It's a diet. But I do have, now, all of our minutes, because we have the issue with our minutes, are they?
They're
you know,
good.
Yeah, everything's looking nice.
Okay, and one thing we
You
may
can look
want
at-
to look at,
I
one thing we may want to look at capturing on our website is the newsletter.
It's on there.
Okay,
You need to take a minute or look at
It
home
is.
under Monee Township.
it's in there.
Yeah, and, or also, she's got it set up over here, you can look at it before you leave. But, we've got it all on there. Plus, we've got pictures on the youth commission and the seniors and, what else? This-
Highway Commissioner.
Highway
Highway
commission, all that
has-
stuff, right? And there's some new pictures we're gonna put in, we've got to move moving picture box on there. There's some pictures that I was not really pleased, so Willa's gonna take a few more pictures and add them to that also.
Okay. Now, the contract that we have with the young man, I believe, with the newsletter, I know
Oh, the newsletter?
yeah, I know it was like.
No, we're okay right now. It's the son,
The
Mr.
son has taken
Ms.
over.
Seymour's son is doing the newsletter for us now.
Okay. I do, well, when you get a chance, go on Rich Township.
They have a
Website.
booklet, as their newsletter is a booklet,
Okay.
and it's more like the one that University Park did.
Very expensive.
Is it?
Yes, they're very
It's
expensive.
beautiful.
I mean, they're very lovely and they're very slick,
Yes.
but they are very expensive. And, you know, we had contacted University Park, the person who did University Parks, and he was not interested in doing ours.
Oh, really?
He was like, no, he, I don't know if we were too
Well, that's
small
just
or too puny, I don't know what, but he didn't want to do
But
ours, so.
there was another resource we had. I don't know if you ever checked it out.
No, I didn't, because we were, you know, it was working out okay with Seymour, so we, you know, we said, all right, we were gonna, I was, you know, we were kind of worried that something was gonna happen, but it seemed to be working out quite well, and he's working with the post office quite well, so we, you know,
Can we, can you have a discussion to kind of make sure he doesn't put anything on this? I mean, very tactfully, you know, let him know.
you know, well, maybe 4 years from now. Okay,
Or a check, if you guys don't forget.
that's on the dial-a-ride. I went to a meeting last Friday morning over at the county executives building, and they're forming a Will County Transportation Group, which they'd asked me to be part of, so I'd be part of that. And it's not just for Eastern Will County, but it'd be for the county as a whole. But they are moving around. We tried to pinpoint what they're trying to work with PACE a little bit more, and PACE is going to be trying to find a different vendor in case Washington goes under. So that is being looked at, and you know, right now Washington is okay, but just in case with the new elected officials there that are not really interested in doing our continuing our dial ride, at least that's what we think. But nobody's been, even Nick and Palmer at the county executive's office has not been able to make an appointment to see him. He's really been kind of elusive. So at this point in time, we're going on with Washington Township, and if that stops, then PACE is already working, and we'll have an action plan in place to help us out if that happens. And so there'll be different contracts coming, but that'll be probably more towards the end of the summer. So right now, we've not received any bills, so I'm not going to ask for anybody to authorize any monies until I actually see another bill come my way.
I think we need to, in some capacity, communicate with them, with their supervisor. You know, since they have new leadership on their board,
They do.
and I don't know if anybody contacted you, well, have you talked to anybody personally from there?
I only talked to Teresa over there. She's
She's
the director of
She's the one that came
transportation.
here, right?
Right. No.
That's-
There's all new people there.
No,
Teresa-
she was the one that was working
Teresa
with Rich.
took over Wendy's position.
Wendy, that was Wendy.
You're thinking of
The one that worked
We're talking
with
about-
Rich.
Pat Peters.
Okay.
She is no longer, she was their transportation person that I don't believe is any longer doing that for them.
Okay.
Also, she was a trustee for a while, and she was not reelected. So I don't think she has any fingers in that pot anymore. I'm not really certain about
And the
that.
reason I asked, this is a pretty good expense, and we were constantly communicating with the leadership, former leadership of Washington Township. So I just don't want us to lose that communication.
Well, what's happening is that where our contract is with Will County now, if you remember signing that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where my contact is.
Mhm.
They are in contact with Washington Township
Okay.
or will be, or trying to be. And they are also working with PACE for other transportation solutions if Washington Township does not work out. And,
Well, has
but
they
they are the
Have they paid
people.
up? Have they paid us up?
We have, no. We had, out of the surplus that was there, we had probably used that up by now.
Right.
And then also Bob, the former supervisor, before he left, reimbursed us $8,500 out of what we had formerly paid, because that's, we had such an overage, and we did not want to leave a big overage when we weren't quite certain what was going on. So I had requested that we did receive a return of that money up to, you know, and that, and so now what we're doing is waiting for Will County to actually bill us so that we can pay Will County for them to pay Washington Township. And that's the way it operates right now.
I'm hoping that when Washington Township decides, if they decide they don't want to be involved in this, there'll be advance notice given.
I would hope so. If not, though, I'm very confident that with the county executive's office is working with PACE, it's not going to be a gambling service.
Okay.
I'm very confident about that.
Okay.
So, and there was a lot of discussion on that at that last Friday meeting. So, well, so right now, we're just gonna wait until we're billed, and if we're billed, I will be in touch with Wendy, who is now working with the county executive's office. Wendy used to be the manager of the transportation in Washington Township, who went into the work for Nick Palmer and Larry Walsh in the county executive's office. So she really has a good handle on all this. She is my main contact person, and so I will ask her to please, make sure that, give us another report so we know exactly where we are and how much we owe, so that if by our July meeting, then we can send them a check for the money. Okay, let's go into project reports. Youth committee meeting, Maurice. We had the damage, as you mentioned last time, for vending machines at Governor State University on our gym nights that we were there. They've sent us the reports. We've contacted Torma. Torma, for this type of incidents, has a $250 deductible, and of course, this was $87.99. So they have asked that we pay that directly to the vendor, which is what we're going to do.
I almost want to get a lawyer and fight this.
Yeah, because the way it is written up kind of sounds like everybody was still there when it happened. But it's like, they're saying that it was our fault and our people that were there, and for the $87.99, I don't think it's worth paying our lawyer $200 an hour to do anything.
Joe would take it pro bono.
You got to put that in your
Joe, good comments I said about you.
Yeah. But this does bring me to the point that I'm hoping that we put on the website, volunteers are needed. It'll be always in the newsletter, but we really need to start thinking about that, because I think you probably need to have volunteers who are posted in every room. So, you've got your lifeguards in the swimming pool, but you probably need somebody in the weight room, and you need somebody back in that lounge area, beside the people in the basketball room.
Okay, so in one position, Terry. The second, Terry.
Terry, this is, our gym night is an all volunteer, and so far, we've got some volunteers that come, but mostly the people that are doing it is Maurice and James and Willa are our volunteers. Thank you very much, guys. And now Terry is, it is a Sunday from, 5 to 9.
Yeah.
And they run certainly, not every Sunday, but come fall, it'll start, and then usually it's most consecutive Sundays, but the only time they take off is like, Thanksgiving and, that type of thing, up until about 2 weeks before Christmas. But, and then I'm sure he'll be looking for another volunteer. But besides that, we can't completely wear out all the trustees, and I think that if you could maybe get your volunteer group together and see if you can get some commitments from them.
What we're going to do is, next Wednesday, I have a meeting. Are you free, James? Next Wednesday? This coming Wednesday?
After 3:30, I'm on day shift.
After
I'm
3:30?
on day shift for some.
So, 3:45 to 4:45, just an hour. Because we know you gotta get out of here. And we're gonna solicit Terry, just if you could, Terry.
But it's not something that Terry can come to unless we post the meeting. If you have 3 trustees in one place. With 2, it's not necessarily a posted meeting, but with 3, you do have to actually have an actual posted meeting. Right, because of that.
We never had 3.
Very good. All right.
She caught me on that, that was a test.
Terry said yes.
I haven't known this a long time.
But watch this.
Well,
No,
you know-
I asked Terry to come, so I didn't have to come, so we was only gonna have two.
But actually, you know, if it's gonna be Wednesday, why don't you go ahead, Will, and make up just a quick little posting and
And it's
anyway.
because it's a committee.
Yeah, it's a
And
committee
it's sponsored
meeting,
by
but
us,
it
so
is,
it's okay. We can-
but also
yeah,
post it
that'd be
because
cool.
just in case that 3, and then also, if I decide I wanna come and sit in, I can do
Sure.
that also, so then it'll, you know, let's just go ahead and post it.
Yeah, so you have to do it
No,
within
if-
48 hours.
If Terry should know
Yeah,
that if
48
she's a
hours.
volunteer, she's got to submit to the background too.
We can discuss that with her.
We have a vetting program because it's people working with children, and so what we've done is we've made arrangements to do just a simple vetting program where we do have an agency that, you know, you fill out information, they'll do a quick little background check. Do they do fingerprinting too?
Yes.
Then you have to go over there and they
It's his live
fingerprint you
scan,
and
so you go.
and make sure that you don't have any, you know, felons against children type of a thing. But it's a precaution, and so anybody that does
Terry,
volunteer
if
for
I
our
can pass,
program
anybody
will
can
have
pass.
to go through the vetting process.
If I can pass anybody.
You know, what would the Patty go in and follow through and get her done?
Those for information came back.
Okay, so we got
So I'll send you some information on our youth program, our mission statement and all of that, okay? I'll send that to you.
Alrighty, so then you're going to post a meeting for next Wednesday, which is what date?
Well, it's a week from, what's today, the 20th, so that's the 13th, 26th.
26th then, right? Wednesday the 26th. At 3:30, you said?
3,
Third.
James can,
3:45?
Make it, that's the 26th, that's, okay, make it 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock?
Okay.
3 o'clock's
3
okay
to
on
4?
Thursday, I mean Wednesday the
3 to
26th?
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 to 4, is that right?
3 o'clock? Okay.
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, all right.
That's the date.
And so we will post that meeting so that Terry can come and I can drop in if I want to, or anybody else can also.
And I will also put it on our calendar
Yes.
on the website.
That would be good, thank you. That would be good. Okay, now, we do need to authorize the paying of that $87.99, so I need a motion to do so.
You can say so.
Moved by Terry that we pay $87.99 to the vending company at GSU as per GSU's request. Is there a second? And seconded by Debbie. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bowles?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Dacty?
Yes. Okay.
Have we, before we leave here, have we received all of their invoices?
None of them, we just keep paying them.
Are you kidding me?
No.
We paid for this one.
We paid them because we just figured up the hours, and we paid them so that we're keeping up with them rather than waiting for
They
an
have not
invoice.
sent us anything.
No.
And they asking for $87.
They did send us
Well,
that.
this is being sent to the vending
They
company.
sent us that, yeah,
Right.
but they did not send us a deal to use the facility.
So we just figured up so that we are paying as we go, so that we are not, but that is part of
So
our
we're not paid
contract.
up until, when did we finish, May something?
May,
Right.
we had two
How
weeks
many?
in May.
So, but you paid what you thought.
Well, the
What the
nights that we were
contract
there,
says. Right.
if they have any questions about it, they can contact me.
That's what I'm calling vicious.
But
Go
at
ahead.
the same time, though, this
That's
is
what
not
I'm talking
something that you need to address
I
when you're
will.
speaking with them,
Yeah.
because part of the contract was that they are supposed to
30
be billing
days.
us
30
on a
days
regular
after.
Monthly,
basis.
they're supposed,
Right.
we're supposed to be receiving a
Right,
monthly.
and we are
bill,
not.
But they're not doing
And
it.
even if, even if we want to
So-
modify it where they do say bill us once at the end of the
And
season,
that's what we need to do with
That'd
the
be fine.
contract. If they do not submit to us an invoice, 30 days after the month or whatever, however we have it,
Payment
there
is
need to
not
be some
involved.
consequences. Yeah, you, therefore, Joe, you put that legal jargon in there, you therefore lose your privileges. You lose your privileges to obtain any further funds from us for the duration of the contract.
Well, certainly that
then they can
might be
kick us
clear.
out.
But it's
Because
not
right
like
now,
we're a big organization, we used to be.
think, and you did send them an email, right? Well, the director, newbie?
I haven't talked with her.
Okay. I'll send an email out tomorrow. I'll CC you, and I'll
So
CC
this
you.
is from what, from the days that we
But I'll just
had,
say with that, yeah,
because we paid them in March, we paid for March,
right,
so this would be for April and May.
okay. All right, I'll send it.
So what we just paid was April, May, right? Okay, so we,
So April,
What's in the bills tonight is for April and May.
April, May, okay. I'll
Because we
send it
paid
out
March
tomorrow.
out of last budget.
Okay.
and
just
tell them that the
CC
check
you.
we just sent was for April, May, but we've not received it. Okay, last thing under youth was the Association of Illinois Township Committee on Youth. We are part of that. They have a dues renewal. It's called ATCOI is their initial, $75. Need a motion to approve sending them $75 annual membership dues.
So move.
Moved by Maurice, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Terry. Any further discussion?
Terry to attend these.
Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Rose? Trustee Rose?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Burgess?
Yes.
Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Daniel?
Yes. Okay, anything on going green, Maurice?
No, I looked on my solar light,
It's in the back.
like going green lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not functioning, and
It was
wasn't.
functioning, it was just conserving energy.
Yeah.
Is that the second one?
Oh, who's keeping track?
Okay, if nothing, then let's go into the trustee audit of accounts. I'm gonna send this down to be signed. We're looking for trustee audit of accounts was per, in your packet for May 17th to June 20th, 2013. Start it down this way.
You know, Don, I'm looking at page 3 of the town fund checking. Bank card processing, what's that about?
Credit card.
Credit card?
Visa.
Visa?
A Visa card.
That's the card we have through the Midwest Bank that we buy basically a lot of the senior little supplies, and we bought a lot of the Christmas gifts with them that we donate, and that's basically foodstuffs. That's kind of what we use that for.
All right, and I'm also looking at some names I don't recognize on here. Who is Sharika Smith on
She
page 3?
is, works for Sandra.
That's the assessor's office?
Yes, I don't know, if she's summary or full-time. Thank you.
Curious, I'm on page 4.
Those are, if they're in a group,
Everybody holds on.
in the assessor's office.
Janetta Carter
Yep,
The assessor's office.
and Curious Gwen.
The assessor's office.
yep. If it's not Willa,
This is the
it's-
summer help she was talking about.
some of it's summer, some of it's full-time. But yeah, if it's not Will is the only one in this office, the rest are all in the assessor's office.
Okay.
All right, is there a motion to approve the disbursement summary, May 17th to June 20th? Is there a motion to approve it?
So,
Moved by Maurice, is there a second? Second. Second by Terry. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Rose?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
yes.
Trustee Burgess? Trustee Young?
Yes.
Supervisor Daniel?
Yes. Okay. All righty. Well, is there any board comments?
I have a board comment.
Okay?
I'd just like to, at this board, recognize two men that have worked with University Park Baseball as volunteers, and also one name is Mickey, actually it's Thomas Mickey Howard, He passed away on May 3rd. They had a repast just the past weekend. And also Greg Aline. Both these men worked tirelessly with baseball in University Park. And Greg Aline was instrumental in bringing ESPN to University Park ball field back in 2007. He was always trying to make the game interesting and fun for the youth. And Greg Aline passed on actually last weekend. He was my last words to me. He was going to attend Mickey Howard's memorial service, and he passed that Sunday. So they had a memorial service for him Saturday as well. But both of them really worked tirelessly for the youth in University Park over the past 7 or 8 years. They were a great help to me. I worked as the president of the association, and without their help, I don't think I could have done what we did with the youth as far as baseball.
That's a shame to hear. It's too bad. Anybody else have any other board comments?
Other than this year, what was this
What?
all about? I think, or I thought we was
Oh,
not
this was,
allowing people to rent or use.
no, we don't let them rent.
What is
No,
this
no, no.
about?
This is our Pinnacle Club. It's been meeting for, 3 years now? Every now and then, they take up a collection and just give us donations for allowing us to use them space. It's given into the pantry. And I brought it up before, I think, about 2 or 3 months ago, we mentioned the same thing.
Do you know how many things went through my brain for the last 2 or 3 months?
Why did you ask if you have a question? No, but that's just the Pinnacle Club. No, they come in every Tuesday and Thursday, and they sit up in that little corner
Is this for the
there.
seniors?
Seniors and, yeah, a bunch of
I just thought it
seniors.
was a different.
There's a bunch of seniors that used to meet over at the senior center.
It's a peanut club.
Yeah. But they used to be at Southland Senior Center. And when that closed, then they needed a place to go. So then they started meeting here. So they come in, they set up, they play their cards, they take down, they clean up after themselves, and and every now and then, they take up a collection and they give a donation to our pantry.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Yeah. So no, they're not, yeah,
Where
no.
did this
When you
come
happen to go to the meeting out to road,
Yes, I did, Tuesday, I went down to Piaton High School and went to the Ileana, meeting. And basically, it was just an informational meeting, and it was kind of showing their proposed route, which is now south of Piaton, where before it'd been kind of a little bit closer. Now it's like further south of Piaton. They have the whole layout of the road from, 55 all the way over to 65. And, they were showing where the intersections were be and everything. And it was quite information. And then they had a nice informational video that was running, as to what was going on. They will be having other meetings in the fall, I think is their next public meeting that they're gonna have. But they had a nice attendance. So it was interesting to see where it was, because it's quite a ways from us now, so it's not, it doesn't affect Monee Township in any way. All right, if there is nothing else, then is there a